Welcome back to another video. And on this one, let's talk about 3 tips so you can get the best recording out of your guitar. All right, so the first tip is really gonna be about your instrument. Make sure that your strings are fairly new. I mean, you don't want them to be brand new. You put them on that same day and then you record that same day, right? It doesn't really work that way. They need time to stretch. Using old strings that don't have any tone left in them can kind of produce like a muddy sound in your recording. Now, there are ways that you can fix this to make it a little bit better, but the best thing you can do is just change your strings and make sure that they have time to stretch. This really won't take too much time, 3 days maybe. It gives you a couple more days to practice, really. I personally like to stretch my strings out naturally just by tuning them. You can stretch them out and pull on them a little bit to kind of stretch them out faster. I just found that tuning the strings naturally just keeps the tone just a little bit longer. It could be just me, I'm not sure, but if anyone pulls on their strings to stretch them out all the time, do you hear a difference in the quality? Let me know down below. Now, if you are having problems with squeaks on the bass strings, you can actually put on strings that are polished and it'll help you prevent squeaks whenever you're shifting or something like that. Some people do prefer these strings whenever they're recording. My problem is that the tone isn't quite the same as regular wounded strings. I don't know. That's just my opinion, but I'll definitely leave some in the description so you can check them out and maybe try them for yourself. Now, if your guitar is also buzzing in any way, make sure that you take it to like a guitar repair shop or a luthier or somebody that knows what they're doing to kind of fix that buzz so you can get the best possible recording that you can. Probably most of the time you just need to humidify that thing, especially now in the winter. And believe it or not, make sure that you tune your instrument. I've heard so many recordings that the instrument is just out of tune a lot. I mean, I'm sure I'm guilty of it too. The tuning slips or something like that, and I don't catch it until post. Actually, that happens quite a bit. Now, if you don't have a tuner laying around, I did make a video on how to tune by ear. I'll put it in the description down below. And the second tip is picking the best room that you have. Now, room size can make a really, really big difference on the quality of recording. In my experience, and especially with acoustic instruments, is that you want to find the biggest room that you have possible. Now, in my case, I have this studio here where I do all my editing, but I record in a different room just because this room is really, really small. And even though I have some panels like you see behind me, it's not 100% treated. So I'm going to get some weird artifacts when I record in this room. So if at all possible, maybe find the living room, the kitchen, dining room, whatever the case is, try to find the biggest room that you can that's also furnished in order to avoid sound bouncing off the walls and just creating some face problems or just creating weird artifacts in the recording. Now, if you do have to record in a small room, throw clothes everywhere. Get some sound blankets, moving blankets even. I picked up some at a hardware store for like $5, I think it was, and they work great. Or even better yet, record in a closet. Now, playing in a small treated room or a closet won't give you that big open sound that is kind of desired in classical music. That's why a lot of people are recording in cathedrals, churches, these massive recording studios that have this big open space, but you can do some things in post to get something similar. It's better to record in a dead room than in a small room that's not treated and you get all these artifacts in your recording. But definitely also experiment in this room. Now try recording the guitar with the mics pretty close and then slowly move back and then do some test recordings with certain distances to see what's the sound that you're actually looking for. But if you're wanting that natural sound and that natural reverb, try to record in the biggest room that you possibly can. All right, and the third tip is really your playing. No amount of editing will correct a bad take. Now make sure that you can really play the piece or song that you want to record. If you keep making mistakes, you're going to get frustrated whenever you're trying to record it because it's actually similar to playing a new piece at a concert hall or for your teacher. You can get really nervous and start messing up. So make sure that the piece that you're playing is really in its top shape in order to record. Now, also don't make this the first recording that you make out of this piece. Have some recordings under your belt so you can get used to and comfortable recording this piece. Now, you don't have to share it or anything like that. You can really just check your progress on the piece, which is what I recommend doing anyway. Another good way to force yourself and to get comfortable playing with that piece, since we're not really playing any concerts right now, is to do live streaming. I've done a couple live streams just kind of practicing and pretty nerve-wracking. And it's kind of weird because you're playing in front of this camera with no one here. I'm used to playing with an audience and it's just so weird that the audience is just on the other side of this camera. Every single time that you make a click sound or a ding or a buzz or something like that, it's just going to get you frustrated because you want to get the most clean recording as you possibly can because it is forever. Can't tell you how many times I've recorded a piece and I'm going back into it and I hear the clicks, I hear the dings, and it's so frustrating. Like, I know I could do this better. So make sure that the sound that you're getting out of the guitar is what you want in your recording. So if you're making all these mistakes, if you're making all these clicks and dings, make sure that you fix that first before you start your recording. Well, that's it for me. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe. I'll leave all my links down in the social below, and I'll see you next time. Peace. I got all these new lights for Christmas, and I can't decide what color to put in the background. Green, blue, I don't know. Help.